So good day everyone, I'm your Ezekiel J. Pontepedra from grade 11 Resilience, and today I will discuss about fake news and the different forms of false information that we commonly encounter online. So this presentation will help us understand how fake news spread spreads, its effect on people, and how we can identify if the information we see online is reliable or not. So as students and social media users, it is important for us to become responsible in sharing information because fake news can influence opinions, create fear, and even harm other people. So for this presentation, we have four objectives. First is to identify the different types of fake news. Second is to explain the difference between disinformation, misinformation, and malinformation. And third is to analyze examples of fake news. And lastly, to learn techniques in identifying fake news. So these objectives are important because many people today quickly believe and share posts online without checking if they are true. Through media literacy, we can become more critical and responsible users of media. So there are three types of fake news. First is disinformation. So this is false information that is intentionally created to deceive people, meaning the person who made it already knows that it is fake but still spreads it to manipulate others. Now, second is misinformation. So this is also false information, but the difference is that the person sharing it believes that it is true. They spread it without realizing the information is incorrect. And now third is malinformation. So this is different because the information is actually true, but it is shared to harm, embarrass, or manipulate other person. So understanding these differences is important because not all fake news comes from the same intentions. Some people spread fake information on purpose, while others simply do not know any better. Now, let us focus on disinformation. So disinformation is false information. So this intentionally created and spread to deceive people. An example shown in the picture is a fake news post claiming that a celebrity died even though the information is not true. So the picture represents how social media posts can easily manipulate emotions because people immediately react whenever they hear shocking news about famous personalities. Many users quickly share this kind of post without verifying if the news came from official sources. So the effects of disinformation are very harmful. First is it causes panic and confusion because people immediately believe the false information. Second, it manipulates public opinions. Some fake news is designed to influence what people think about celebrities, politicians, or important issues. So third, it spreads quickly on social media because emotional or shocking content usually gains more attention and shares. This is why we must always verify information before reacting or sharing it online. Another example is this picture that shows a fake post about grade 13 being added to senior high school. So many students became confused or worried because the post looked realistic and official. However, this post is fake. First, there was no official announcement from the government or the Department of Education. Second, the source page was unverified, meaning it was not an official or trusted account. And third is the image used was edited to look convincing. So this example teaches us that fake news posts often try to imitate official announcements to make people believe them easily. This is why we should always check if the information comes from reliable government pages or official news sources before believing. So to identify disinformation, we can use several techniques. First is reverse image search. So this technique allows us to check where an image originally came from and whether it was edited or used in another context. Second is checking official sources. For example, if the news is about education, you should check the official page of DepEd or trusted news organizations. Now, third is verifying the date and context. Sometimes old news or edited photos are reposted to mislead people. So based on these techniques, uh, we can conclude that the post is disinformation because it was intentionally created to mislead the public. So this shows the importance of critical thinking before sharing information online. So next is misinformation. So misinformation is false information shared by people who think it is true. So the example shown in the picture is an unverified news post claiming that the PNP is ready to enforce an ICC warrant against Bato de la Rosa. Without official confirmation, the important thing here is that the person sharing the information may not have bad intentions. They may simply believe that the information is accurate. However, there is still no harmful intentions, so misinformation can still create problems. First, it misleads the public because people may believe incorrect information. Second, it spreads fear or confusion, especially when the topic involves political, health, or public safety. Now, third, it can affect people's decision because people may react or judge situations based on false information. This is why we should avoid sharing unverified posts immediately, especially in the if the issues is sensitive or controversial. Now, to identify misinformations, there are also several techniques we can use. First is fact-checking websites. There are websites and organizations that verify if viral posts are true or false. Second is comparing trusted sources. If only one unknown page reports the news while official news outlets do not mention it, the information may not be reliable. Now, third is checking experts' opinions. Experts and professionals can help explain whether the information is accurate or misleading. So, after analyzing the example, we can conclude that the claim is misinformation because false information was shared without harmful intent. So, this reminds us to think carefully before reposting information online. So, the last type of fake news is malinformation. So, malinformation involves real or true information, but it is shared to harm or embarrass other persons. So, the example shown in the picture is posting someone's private conversation online to embarrass them publicly. Even though the conversation may be real, sharing them without permission is unethical and harmful. So this kind of content can seriously affect a person's mental health, reputation, and privacy. The effects include uh, violating privacy because personal information is exposed publicly. Second, it damages reputation because people may judge the person negatively. Third is it causes emotional harm, especially when private matters becomes public. So this example teaches us that even true information should not be shared if the purpose is to harm other persons. So To identify malinformation, we should analyze the intentions behind the post. We should ask, why was this information shared? Why is it shared to inform people, or was it shared to embarrass or attack someone? Second is identifying uh, privacy violations. If personal messages, photos, or private details are shared without consent, it may already be considered harmful. So third is looking at missing context. So sometimes true information is presented without full explanation to make someone appear guilty or bad. Therefore, we can conclude that the post is malinformation because true information was used to harm another person. So this reminds us to respect privacy and think about the consequences before posting anything online. So to conclude, fake news exists in different forms such as disinformation, misinformation, and malinformation. Even though they are different, all of them can negatively affect people and society. So, as responsible media users, we should always verify information, check trusted sources, and think critically before sharing posts online. Media literacy is important because it helps us protect ourselves and others from being deceived or harmed by false information. Always remember, think before you click, believe, or share. Thank you, and that is the end of my presentation.